My name is John Newcott. I'm the Director of Individual Giving here at New York Public Radio, WBGO.
How did you get your first job here at WBGO?
Well, it's a very interesting story, actually. I had a 30-plus year career in the recording industry, and in January of 2010, I was unfortunately downsized out of a job that I'd had for 28 years. I had a great run, and I was only out of work for a few months when I got a call from WBGO because my previous job was Senior Director of Marketing at the Verve Music Group, which of course is one of the biggest jazz labels in the music industry. I had a 25-year relationship with WBGO. So I knew a lot of people here. And I got a call and somebody said, "Hey, we're really sorry to hear about what happened to you at Verve. Would you be interested in coming in and talking to us?" I said, "Sure." So I went in and I had an interview, and they were looking for an interim marketing manager. Our marketing manager, Brandy Wood, who is still with us in that position, was going on maternity leave. And so they needed somebody to come fill in for like 3 months. And so I came in, I had a nice conversation with everybody. A mentor of mine taught me a long time ago, always take the interview. Even if you know your answer is going to be no, you never know. So I talked to them. We had a nice conversation. They explained what was going on. They said, "Look, this is an interim thing. You can look for other work while you're working for us. It's all good." So I went home and I talked to my wife about it. I said, "So, what do you think?" She said, "You're a fool if you don't take this. Just do it." So I said, "Yeah, what the heck?" So I came in and I worked. So here I was working at a non-for-profit public radio station. And Chuck, the guy who I reported to at the time, said, "Well, how do you feel about development?" And I said, "Well, hum me a few bars. I'm open to anything at this point in my life, given the longevity of my previous career." So I kind of did on-the-job training and just fell into this position, and I've been here for 7 years. A lot of the skills that one uses in fundraising are very similar to what one does as a marketeer, because it's all sales to a certain degree. But it's a completely different set of skill sets. So I learned a lot. I still learn every day. It's a very different thing to go from dealing with products to fundraising, which is all about interpersonal connection. One thing that I will say about public radio in general is that there is a real all hands on deck work aesthetic and work ethics in public radio. Although everybody has their designated job descriptions and responsibilities, everybody pitches in. As you know, the theme of our last drive was all hands on deck. So there's a lot of different things involved. I still, in addition to my fundraising responsibilities, I also still get to work with artists and do some curation for the station, help with special event planning. And so there's a number of different skills that I had from my previous life that I still get to employ here at WBGO. The biggest challenge that WBGO faces as a nonprofit public media outlet is the majority of our funding comes from listeners. We are a contributor, member-supported public radio. The biggest challenge that we face every day is trying to get the conversion rate up between people who listen to becoming contributors. It's a much smaller percentage than you might think in terms of our general listenership and those who actually take that step to become financial contributors to WBGO. So that's an ongoing challenge. In addition to that, obviously, given all of the vast changes in the media landscape with the onset of the internet and everything else, we're challenged all the time to find our space in the current digital landscape. We've recently taken some very great steps towards that with the redesign of our website, by bringing on Nate Chinen, who was formerly one of the primary music critics at the New York Times, who is now our director of editorial content, with the addition of our syndicated program, Jazz Night in America, which is heard on over 200 stations around the country, hosted by Christian McBride. And as part of that, that's a partnership between NPR Music and Jazz at Lincoln Center. So there's many things that we're doing to try to address these changes, but it's an ongoing process.